test in the entire school. And it was a 98 percentile. And that's what got me into Harvard. But in the meantime, I had this, and people were wandering around Penn saying, "Who is this guy? Nobody knows him. Oh, he's that drunk." How the hell did he get in? Oh, well, whatever. So I got into Harvard, and the first day there, we're in admissions, and so we're sitting in the auditorium, and the dean says to us, "Look to your left, left. Look to your right. Because one of you is not going to be here tomorrow, next year." So I said, "Oh, that's easy to figure out." No, but I still thought that law was about justice. And then I took my first class in, I can't remember, I think it was a property law. I don't know, torts. It was torts. And I had my first class in torts, and then I found out that the law is not about equality and justice and all those things. It's about who has the money, who has the sharpest attorney, and who can push the appeal system far enough, because nothing for rich people is ever going to happen until the final appeal that says you're okay, you get off. You murdered this young woman by biting off her nipple, and she got gangrene and all the rest of it, and she died, and you're responsible. But the lawyers and the circumstantial evidence and the judge making a mistake on a technicality, strictly technicality appeal, he got off. I said, this is not for me. The law is definitely not for me. I have learned what justice is, and I know that the legal system is not justice. So from that point on, I think I had given up drinking by that time, because it was just too harsh on me. So instead, I stayed up all night looking at my kaleidoscope with the lights on in my room, in the big quad, in the big law quad, where every single room in that law quad could look out on me with the lights on. At 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, the lights were always on, and they thought I was studying. And of course I wasn't studying, I was looking at my kaleidoscope. So, and I used to, the wild one, I used to wear a leather jacket, jeans, and motorcycle boots. And every time I would walk by on the campus on a group of students, they go, vroom, vroom. Well, I did very well in moot court, and was recruited to be in one of the moot court clubs, which is a high honor. But I flunked out because nothing else mattered to me. But I did win that case, and I dressed up for it. I went out and I bought myself a custom-made, the heaviest Scottish tweed you can imagine. And I had a vest with it, and I can't remember what the shirt was, but it was appropriate. And then in the watch fob pockets, I had my cum laude key that was hanging down. So, I mean, I acted, and that's what I did. And I acted like a attorney, and I won my case, I mean, big time. And so I was recruited, but I couldn't get in because I was flunking out. So that was the end of that.
Can we move his mic? It keeps on rubbing up.
It's rubbing under your arm.
Oh, it's this thing.
That's good then.
It's good here?
Yeah.
Move it up.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's just that you were rubbing up against it every time you get on.
That's why I'm afraid he moves his arm again.
Yeah,
That's good now.
That's good now.
yeah. Manic depressive, hyperactive, attention deficit disorder. I move.
That's the same
Jewish,
background.
New York Jew. Let's talk.
So moot trial is the same as what we call mock trial.
A mock trial, yeah. Yeah, in Harvard it's a higher, big deal. But it is among the top societies that you can get in. The top one is the paper, I don't know what it is, the law review. Law review, of course, everybody has law review. So Harvard Law Review was the top, and then under that were the clubs, and Moot Court Club was, way up there. And So the year went by, and I flunked out, and that was it. So I wasn't going to go back there. Took a little vacation, drove my car, convertible car, down to Florida for one of my roommates' weddings. And on the way down there, I got stuck behind a big truck who wouldn't let me pass him, would not let me pass him. So I got so furious, I went ahead and I tried to pass him anyhow. And coming over the hill right at me was another big car. So I'm not going to kill anybody. So myself, okay, I don't care. Turned the wheel and went off into a side pasture somewhere. The car was tipped over. I guess it was totaled. I don't know. I took a train down to the wedding. I was one of the best men. I got very drunk. I danced with the bride, who people at this restaurant said, "Oh, it's a wedding. He's the groom. She's the bride." And the groom said, he's not the groom. I'm the groom. He's the one who dances with her. And what am I doing? The dirty dance. You know, lots of humping and oh God. You know, so of course they thought I was the groom. But my friend, my roommate knew the way I danced, and Bobby, his wife, knew the way I danced. So it was okay with them, and that was fine. And eventually, after some turmoil, which I can't put all together, I managed to get back to New Rochelle, flunked out of Harvard, had to do something. I worked in a adhesive Band-Aids, but they weren't. They called them Band-Aids, but they weren't allowed to because Johnson & Johnson sued them, and so they had to call them something else, and they called them adhesive strips, which is a little bit Band-Aid is. And so I worked in the factory for a while until, I guess, after the summer. And I did all very, very heavy labor. I'm down to about 100 pounds now, and at the time I probably was around 135. And I don't know, I skipped a piece. Let's go back to Petty. In Petty, I was about 125, 122 maybe. And obviously I couldn't get on the football varsity, so they put me into an intramural league, which was based on weight. So I was in the 120 group, and I was there for one practice, and then the coach said, "Get him out of here," because I'm a very mean football player, and even if I was light, I was anyhow. So they kicked me out and they put me into the 135 pound. Now 135 pound, as against 120, is a big difference because it's 135 or whatever and up, and we didn't play among ourselves.